No, it's one of the most overlooked things in MMA. Which, by the way, I want to bring up that your boy, the no-gi goat, is going to
Mm-hmm.
MMA.
Hey, shout out to the king, Gordon Ryan. Signed with one
Um,
championship. Fighting.
I started at the jiu-jitsu gym in town, and they were
They were
talking
all
about it,
hype.
which was good, which was music to my ears because I was like, hey, if they know who this is, maybe they know actual jiu-jitsu, right? Because there's a lot of jiu-jitsu people out there that are just putting on belts and showing each other how to throw Judy chops.
I don't know
Um,
if you ever get stuck in a turtle, you just all loosen up the old thumb there in the tailpipe.
right. And they were talking about it, and it's funny because I was talking with them, and I was like, hey, I know that you guys know about fighting, right? I know that you guys do jujitsu and you guys, train people here to fight. But I was like, are you guys forgetting the fact that Gordon Ryan doesn't take licks? Do we even know if he has a chin?
That's
Like,
always the fun part with these jiu-jitsu guys is we get so excited. As me as a jiu-jitsu fan, I love Gordon Ryan. I'm like, oh, he's gonna strangle everybody. But we're fighting now. We're not doing jiu-jitsu. We're fighting now. What's really gonna happen?
yeah, he's big, he's strong, he's extremely talented. He is the
Hardworking.
GOAT at jujitsu. He is not a Damian Maya, right?
Mm-mm.
He is stellar at his game. However, comma,
We don't
it does
know.
not mean anything until you start getting smacked. And
What
that's the thing,
happens when you get peeled by a right hand? How do you take that? A man doesn't know how he's going to respond to getting blasted until you've been blasted.
which is why I think like MMA leans towards strikers because if you're a striker that can grapple, you beat grapplers that
Like,
can strike.
every time. Like, it's cliche, but the fight starts standing up, which means you have to close the. And here's the thing about Gordon Ryan: he's not necessarily known for his wrestling. Not to say that he's not good at it, but because he's obviously out here training with like Nicky Rod and those savages at the Danaher Death Squad in the Blue Basement, or at least before they went to Puerto Rico. But Gordon's kind of known for pulling guard, sweeping, and you know what I mean, reversals, and just dominating every facet of the ground warfare. But you don't think of Gordon Ryan and think of someone known for being known for their takedown ability.
I mean, how many great jiu-jitsu practitioners have been in the UFC?
I mean, we've had a bunch. Like,
I mean, great. Like, for real, all around great,
I mean, you got Jacare, you got
right?
Damian Maya, Gilbert Burns, um, Wagner Rocha or not Wagner Rocha, Rafael Lovato over at Bellator. Like, I can think of
Amanda
probably like
Ribas.
about 10 off the top, but they have to fall in love with striking for them to be anything in MMA.
It
Like Jacare fell in love
is,
with knocking people out. Gilbert Burns fell in love with blasting folks.
right. It can happen. And I honestly, I hope it will because I would love to see Gordon Ryan do his jiu-jitsu in MMA, but I like it. I hear in my head, I hear Hoist Gracie when he fought Matt Hughes. Like, eventually, what you know isn't there. Now, Hoist Gracie was a gi guy, so that
Yeah,
doesn't
it's a little
help him,
different.
is that he didn't have a gi. But that being said, he knew his way around grappling on a level that he should have been able to handle it, but it's a whole different game when people are being savages to you.
And let's talk about this too, the weight class that Gordon Ryan's going to be in, because Gordon
He's
Ryan
a
is a
big
big
boy,
boy. He struggles with stomach issues, but
right?
when he's up, he's close to 230, and when he's down, he's still 200 plus. So what was he going to fight light heavy? I don't see him cutting. I really don't see him cutting down to 185. I see him. I'm imagining he's got to be going light heavyweight at that 205 limit. It's the only thing I can think of. So those
That's
boys
not
hit
good.
hard. Those boys will
That's
put
not
you
good.
out. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't really wade through the fire and eat one to get a hold of somebody because one's enough at that weight class.
Not only that, but they're exceptionally talented people.
Yeah.
at
And
throwing
like,
hands.
and let's not, for those casuals out there, one FC is the UFC of the Eastern world, like of the Asian continent and all those countries in the Pacific Islands. They have legit fighters. Those motherfuckers hurt people. They know how to fight. They could be in the UFC if they wanted to.
I think it'll be pretty cool to see. I'm definitely going to pay attention to it. I am a casual, and I want to see what Gordon Ryan can do. But I'm going to bring my casual eyes to the game. I feel like I know MMA as a whole well enough to at least know what I'm looking for. Because
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
even when I went to jujitsu class, when I started getting ate up, I was like, oh, I know what it's I just don't know how to defend it. I don't know what I'm doing down here, but I know what's happening to me.
Yeah, you don't necessarily know what's going on, but you know what should be going on. You just have to learn how to get there.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to get my legs out from underneath here. I'm super screwed, and now I have to tap. Right,
It's like, I need to. I just don't know how to.
right. Um, So prelim fight to watch. I saw that you put in the notes Jessica Payne versus Hannah Goldie. Why did you pick that as a prelim fight to watch?
Fun one. Hannah Goldie. Shout out to her. I've been on her radar for a while. Stout young lady. Exceptional wrestling. Very violent. Likes to hit people. Likes to hurt people. Got a baby by big dog Alex, the Spartan Nicholson, aka Mike Perry's homeboy. So shout out to them. But she comes in. She's a thick fucking woman. I mean, thick, like body the fuck up, solid. And
Why
she
don't you
likes.
make a clip for a Mike Perry call out, by the way?
I probably should. I'm trying to let him have time to enjoy that baby and his girl and all that down in Miami. Maybe I'm still a fan. I want the dust to settle from blasting the old man who definitely deserved it, Mike. So don't think I'm hating because good for you. Fuck that dude. He shouldn't have touched you. But we gotta let the dust settle before we make. I don't want controversy to be coming of me and him's gym war that will one day take place. I'm slimming down. I'm no longer two something. I can't do something. So I'm getting close to that welterweight weigh in. So we'll get there. But Hannah Goldie, Jessica Panay, also slept on. She's legit, up and comer. Hannah Goldie, only 5-1. PFL had a great showing. I think she had a brief stint in UFC back in the day when she was real young, but I could be wrong about that. But they're both pretty violent in the way they fight. So when they get together, I expect there to be a lot of clinching and groundwork, but not boring groundwork. Like I'm talking slams into elbows, into, you know what I mean? Like something fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like fun. Is that all? Is that all you have on the card, or did you have some
Yeah.
more stuff to talk about?
I'm not going to lie, the prelims aren't like that stout. I felt like the main card was real stout, especially with Ortega, Volkanovski, but it kind of was lacking prelims.
Well,
Randa
we can.
Marcos is the featured, and she's like fucking lost more fights than she's won. So like, what are we really doing there?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know anything. I'm going to be watching it, but I just want to see Stipe Ngannou, and I want to see Sugar Sean.
Sugar
as well.
show, baby.
I want to see if he acts like a little bitch again.
Yeah, I want to see. I'd like to see the young man redeem himself. I gave him some respect points on the way. First, I was a big hater of how he handled the Cheetah Vera loss, but then I started to enjoy the fact that he was pretending like he's undefeated, and even where, because he had those 2 first-round knockouts before the Cheeto fight, and then he lost in the first round of the Cheeto fight. He's like 3 fights, 3 first-round finishes, baby. And I'm just like, all right, he's kind of leaning into the L, so I started to like give him a little get back on that one. I'm starting to enjoy it. So I'd like to see how he comes out, what he does here.
I still think he's super talented, and no, there's not many dudes that want to bang it out with him. That's for sure.
I now question his his durability, but more his mental, because he's all bought in. Him and Tim Welch, his coach, they're homies down there in Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix. I always used to pass by them. I see them at the coffee shop down by my house reading their fucking books. But they're really bought into the mental aspect of things. But in my mind, is like that was mental weakness, lack of toughness with the whole Cheeto thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not about to sit here and say that it doesn't. That he's. I said he was a little bitch, but
Definitely.
Comparatively.
We all know. Yeah, we're talking
Comparatively.
relatively.
Right. You got to be able to eat kicks, and you got to be able to roll an ankle. I'm sorry.
Well, he didn't even really. It was a low calf kick. So quit. Like, I hate the people that are like, oh, he slipped and messed up his foot. No, Cheeto Vera landed a well placed low calf kick that shut that foot off. That's part of fighting. Calf kicks are real.
Facts. You want to transition into the over under?
Yeah, let's do the over under, baby.
All right, your baby mama's favorite portion of the show, the over under.
I know because she's in my DMs.
Oof.
You know what I'm talking to.
Tell me what you got.
All right, we're gonna start this off with a personal favorite of ours, truly, or of the both of us. Mentioned him earlier. Was on my mind. Dang, my bad. Was on my mind when he threw the smoke at old Wendy Williams and her old coked out ass, Mister Boosie Badass himself. Overrated, underrated.
Boosie. Badass. Now, what do you mean? What is the question? Is he overrated as a rapper? Is he overrated as a person?
All right, I want this in two parts. 2 parts for this one. We're going to take Boosie as the entirety of his rap career as itself, and then another end, him as a persona.
Okay, Boosie as a persona, it depends on where you're at. On the West Coast, he's underrated.
Facts.
In the South, he's overrated.
Ooh. Insert boo chant. Boo.
But his rapping, right? So he's not what I would call a good rapper. However, he made fun music. So I would say that he is underrated. I think he's underrated as somebody to listen to. Boosie Badass is one of the most fun listens that you can find. I'm about to set this bitch off.
Set this bitch off. Why me down?
He has one of the most annoying voices in the rap game, but for some reason it's fun to listen to him.
We out here.
Yeah, that's I love that song. I actually really liked his
song.
Persona when he was younger, when he was just wild. I like Webby more, but Boosie is
the Trill Savage.
Boosie's great.
We all love
Boosie
the Trill
is
Savage. Great. All right. Next on the list, keep it rolling. This is I don't know if you have any experience with this. We're both military. We both traveled a good bit in our lives. When it comes to packing a bag, it can be hard to fit everything you want into that trip. Especially with me, I got to get 3-4 pairs of Jordans in that suitcase as well as my clothing. So I'm going to throw this one at you. Rolling your clothes when packing your suitcase. Overrated or underrated?
Rolling your clothes. Okay. There's a time when it needs to be done.
Okay.
I highly suggest doing it to anything that you would wear underneath. I would say that rolling your clothes is underrated because it's a tactic that isn't used enough.
I agree.
Anything that you don't want to have to iron, or God forbid, put in a hotel dryer, you should not roll. However, anything that isn't going to be shown, so anything but pants, collared shirts, and T-shirts should be, and jackets, of course, should be rolled. I think rolling your shit should be done. When I was a kid, my grandma actually taught me this when I was young. She actually taught me to, if you really, really want to do it right, that you should roll them, put them in vacuum sealed bags, and then take the air out of them.
I mean, yeah, but I'm too fucking lazy for that shit.
But if you're trying to if you're trying to fly out to England with a carry-on, that wouldn't be a bad call, though.
I mean, if you fly out to England with a carry-on, you broke. You don't need to be out in England.
Yeah, maybe you're just financially conscious. What's next?
All right. Similar mindset. Kind of took me down a path thinking about packing bags. Purchasing the upgrade to the first class ticket. Overrated or underrated?
Never done it.
Never
done it.
I've done it.
I've never done it in my life, so I don't have any experience. But from what I can tell, it is probably I would say overrated just because of how incredibly expensive it is.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially if you're only flying for 5 hours or less.
I can see that. I was gonna say,
Anything over 5 hours, I want an upgraded seat. But the most underrated seat in the biz is the exit row aisle. That is
yup.
the number one seat on the plane, most cost effective seat you can get.
Let me
I
get
should have
in there
said
and
that because if
fucking
we ever become popular,
spread that shit out.
that's the seat I always want. Exit row aisle.
I feel you. I do have a pro tip though
Plus,
when
I
it
ain't gonna
comes
have to
to
open that door anyway. If we
yeah.
crash, I ain't gonna be next to the exit. You go open that door. I'm just there for aesthetics at this point.
Are you prepared to take on the responsibility? Yeah, I'm gonna turn around. Y'all sit the fuck down and let me die quietly. But the pro tip for the first class ticket for those of you out there is don't buy a first class ticket. What I usually do is I've copped a lot of 4-hour flights from either Vegas or Phoenix coming out here to Ohio. When I hit the little kiosk and it says, "Would you like to upgrade to first class?" If it's open, you can sometimes skate for $50 or under on that first class upgrade. So that's what I always check that. And it's like, "Would you like to update your seat?" I always hit yes just to see.
Nice. I like it. I've
Because
never even tried that tactic.
a 4-hour
Um,
flight, $45 upgrade is worth it to me.
so we're gonna finish off with some housekeeping. Actually, I would like to mention that baseball opening day is April 1st. You used to be a baseball player. I hope that you decide to watch this year since we're doing the sports podcast.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
your team? Who are you officially calling your team, by the way?
My official, I have two of them. I'm going to do one side, other side. Hometown roots, got to go with the Indians. But at the same time, over my years in Phoenix and like going to all the games down there with the
You mean the
Diamondbacks.
Cleveland baseball team?
Yeah. Whoops. Just got canceled.
I'm just kidding. Go
But,
ahead.
you know, I'm also claiming as my secondary the old Arizona Diamondbacks just because, you know, I've been to that stadium quite a few times and I've invested in the city.
Those are good picks. Those are respectable picks. Not normal powerhouses. For those of you who don't know, I am an A's fan. I like the Oakland A's. I like the Platinum at third. I'm definitely going to be watching if I can because it's a West Coast team and I don't know how much I'll be able to pay attention, but I'll do my best. And also, apparently I accidentally signed up for fantasy baseball, so I guess I'm going to be doing that too.
Well, check out that ESPN Plus, too, because they cover a lot of MLB games on there.
Good tip.
Yep.
April 1st is also April Fool's Day, but Andy Feichter and I, no joke, will be putting out our first episode of Permission to Speak Freely, which is going to be on the Left Hooks Are Free network. It's only going to be audio, but we're going to cover mainly military news and military bullshit. So it'll be good fun, and we're going to be incredibly honest. We are not going to glorify our careers or the military in general. We are going to give an honest take of what we know. So be prepared for that.
I'm going to
Now,
send in my EPR and see if y'all can figure out which